Okay, our session is now recording, so yeah, I'll start sharing my screen. I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the ERP product backlog I've asked you guys to create. This is what I'm going to use. This is my own. So this is what I'm going to use. So these items, product backlog, is what we call product backlog items. All these items here, we're going to be moving them to where we're going to work on them. Okay. We have the epics we have here. We'll have license procurement. We'll have ledger, general ledger. We'll have account receivable, cash management reporting. So now what I have to do is, if you don't have account, you just go and open account, create account in Jira. So you don't need to pay. It's they have a free account, free forever. So, and that free forever can contain up to 10 team members. You can add up to 10 team members in that. If you want to do more, then they will require you to pay more, start paying. So for those who have not heard about Jira before, is this your first time of hearing about Jira? Jira is just a project management environment like FreeCamp. The only difference is that Jira is configured in such a way that you can use it to build or implement project in agile environment. It has Scrum planning, while others do not have that Scrum planning. So you can use it to plan your Scrum and sprint event, different sprint event. That's the main purpose why it's very, very popular. And this product is owned by a company called Atlassian. Atlassian is just like a Microsoft. It's a company, and they have so many softwares. If you think of Atlassian, think of Microsoft, think of Oracle. All these are different, we call them vendors. So Atlassian got so many softwares. It's not only Jira. This is Jira, but Jira is not their only software. They have another product called Trello, and so many of them. But the most popular is Jira because of the agile nature. So that is it. And if you want to understand the pricing, let's look at the pricing. So this is the pricing you see here. is you can get it now for free. This is, you see here, free forever for 10 users. So if you're going to be working with 10 or less users, it's free for you. Can use it anyhow you want. If you want to add more people, that is going to be more than 10, then you have to migrate to standard package. We have standard package. You can do it free here as well, but this one is not free forever. It's just a testing for 1 month and they start paying. But this one, you don't, if you get it forever. If you want premium, you can then sign in. You see the price for premium. But if you want enterprise for big corporation, you have to contact them. So you people have to negotiate and they will give you a quote. That's it. If you want this free one, come here, get free. Get it free, click here. That's it. You sign for free and start using it. I'm not going to, it's very easy. So if you can sign up in Facebook and TikTok, you can sign up in this. It's not a big deal. So it just requires email and password. That's what it is, and you start using it. Me, I already have an account, so all I need to do is sign in. So because I already have some work going on here and my account is already open, so it just take me straight. So this is what I signed in here. I signed into my Atlassian account. We call it Atlassian, like I told you that. This is, you see here, it's called home.atlassian.com. So I'm into Atlassian. So while I'm in Atlassian, I can make use of any of their software. This is their product, softwares. We have Jira, we have Confluence, we have Trello. These are popular product they are using. But in this case, you can see here, I have a project running here, and that's it here. I have so many products, so many of them. So if you want to, if you are starting, you are going to, this is what we are going to use, Jira. So Jira, if you come here, well, that's Jira. So that's what we are going to use, Jira. I'll click on Jira. So these are projects I'm running on Jira, and I need a new project. So if you come here, you see here, you can create a new project. So what I'll do here, I will click here for a new project. Okay, now if you're planning to start a new project, it's going to bring you to this environment where you are going to select the project template you are going to use. So you see here, you see bundle, you see custom templates, you see software development, you see service management, product management. So whichever one you click will give you the template that will suit the environment. In our own case, what we are doing is we are software developers. So we go for software development and we click on that. It gives us another interface where we are going to equally select the way we want to manage, because there's other templates you can use for this software development. We have Kanban, we have Scrum, we have top level. This is all the things we have here. So, but because we're using Agile, this is what we're going to use. We're going to use Scrum. So I'll click on Scrum. And you say next. This is what we're going to get on this Scrum. This is the template. You're going to see the kind of way work we're going to work on. The environment is going to structure this way. We're going to have Epic. We're going to have user stories. We're going to have bug. We are going to have tags. We're going to have sub-tags. So we say use this template. Now we're about to start. It's going to ask us another question. We're going to select, is it team managed or company managed? We are a team. So all of you know, you guys are a team. So better select team managed project. And select this here. And now is the time to write the project name we want to. So I'll just say demo 65 ERP Dynamics 365. Yeah, that is the, I'll just say ERP Business Central. So this is the name of our project. So if you have a team, you can select the team, or you can create a team later. So, and access here is open. And the template I'm going to use is, I've already selected, is going to be Scrum. And I click next. So you can invite team members you want to work on if you have them. So you can skip. These are team members I'm working with on some project at the moment. So, but I don't want to invite them on this project. So I'll skip and continue. So my environment is ready now. So you can see I've created this project environment. What is blank? Everything is here. This is the sprint board. but there is nothing here at the moment. We are not having any work here. So this is backlog. The backlog, this way we're supposed to see backlog, 0 item. There's nothing here at the moment. So, and this is the summary. The project summary, you see total work, 0, nothing is here. It's just a very fresh and clean canvas. And timeline, you see everything here is 0, nothing is here. So that's why we have to bring in the work here before we start inviting team members, developers, people who are going to work with. So yeah, these are the interface. So where do we start? We're going to start from the timeline. So this is it. So what are we creating? We're going to create epics first. So, and I'll come over here. So this is what we plan to procurement. That is should be our first epic. Yeah, this is the first epic. You can create another epic. So inside this epic, you can start adding with this plus button. You start adding product backlogs under this. Then when you start adding user stories, you start adding whether it's a user story, whether it's a task, or whether it's a bug. If I click on it now, you see this is user story. If you see this, you see it's story. When you see story, it means user story. If you click on this drop down, you see bug or you see a task. So whichever one, yeah. But we're not done yet with our epic. We need to bring more epics before we start bringing. So another epic here is general ledger. It's a great epic. General ledger. And then I have another epic here. Another epic here is account receivable. Yeah. And then account payable. So you can bring as so many, depending on what you see, you have so many epics here. So you know how much amount of work you want to work at the moment. Just bring them in. And yeah. So that is epic. So the next thing is to start bringing in items under this epics. Come here. This is procurement. Can see here procurement as well. Yeah. So I'll come over here from the plus button. I click on the plus button. You see it's now created a space for me under this. And is a task, is not a user story. So I'm not going to add it as a user story. So I'm going to select a task here. And I'll add it as a task. And I'll save. So that is the only item under this. So the only item here. You come back here. Then under general ledger, we have chart of account. And we have open, period open and closing. So I'll just pick this, and it's going to be a user story, which I'll, during the description, I'll bring in this. Under general ledger, I'll click, I'll come here, I'll select, because this time is and then I'll bring the rest because it is still under general ledger. So we are done with these, the only items we want to work on here. 2 items here. So, and we'll come back here under account receivable. Account receivable. We only have customer invoicing. And under account payable, under account payable, we have vendor payment. And that's the work I plan to do in this sprint. So, yeah. So you see, I've moved in some items already here. And our work is looking good. So if you go to backlog, now you see items on our backlog. You click on backlog. If you come down here, scroll down, you see we'll have, it's no longer 0, we'll have some work here now, our backlog. So, but this work is not refined. Developer might not be able to work on it because it's not clear. So we need to refine it. That's what we get backlog refinement or grooming. We need to make it more robust so that anybody who comes in here will not call you on phone to ask you, what do you mean? What should I do? Person will read through and be able to do their work. So we are going to refine them one after the other. I'll click on this. I'll open a window. So yeah, you see the window has opened here. So what do? I need to put a description. What this is very simple, procurement. So there's no much thing to describe there. So description, procurement. Procurement is buying the license we are going to use for this work. So that's it. This is a task. So I'm not going to add any acceptance criteria if not it's a task. Well, a user story is supposed to have an acceptance criteria, but the task is very clear. I need to buy a license. So I'll save it. And I'll scroll down again and say, at this point, you are not the only one. When you are refining, you are not the only one going to be doing the refining. You need to make sure that you have developers as well. It's a teamwork. No one person does refinement. So, and you do this during, there's what we call products backlog refinement or grooming. We have sessions, meetings for that. So make sure you invite your team. During that, you come here. What we are trying to understand now is the amount of effort it's going to take and who is going to do this. You, the BA, you need to procure this. You know how long is it difficult? So for me, we are going to be giving our story points on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the easiest or requiring least effort, and 10 requiring the highest or complex effort. So I'll say this is just procurement. I'll give it 5. Just I don't think it's a big deal. So that is the story point here. Is the person that is going to do the work that is going to give us the story point, not you. Don't come and say this is amount of stuff, because we are not the person doing the work. And the person doing the work should be honest. When the person doing the work now start being dishonest, then because all of us are developers and we'll start agitating that no, you can't, like now I say it's 5, yeah, but if I say it's 10, 10 story points to just buy a license, someone can say to me, what are you talking about? Let us be serious. So something like that. But 5 years, just a 5, and just something like that. So now this is a bit refined. Let's see it here, have story points here. And we've defined it, and that's it for now. So we are not coming here again until when we're going to have a meeting to decide what to work on. We come on the second epic. You open this chart of accounts. So there's the user story, and we need to, chart of account is not it's not specific here. It's not it's a bit generic. So We want to give it more description, what we plan to achieve here. So as an accountant, I want to create and manage a chart of account. It's more, so it's now a full user story. We will now have stated the story. Description. Yeah. Then we come down and say on this user story, what is the acceptance criteria? So let's look at the acceptance criteria we got here. But we need to bring the acceptance criteria as well. And yeah, and then we save. We have user story and we have the acceptance criteria. We save. So when a developer wants to do the work, now the work is described, it has meaning, and it has a benchmark. The quality standard is here, that is the acceptance criteria. So the developer needs to tell us how the estimation story point, and you say, yeah, this chart of account is not easy to configure. It's going to take me, start telling us what you involve in chart of account. At the end of the day, you see here, it's going to take me 8 story points to, let's say, 9 story points to configure chart of account and then customize it to work very well. And yeah, he's the developer, so and we agree with him. And that's it. So that's what we need for now. And we close. So then we have another one, another user story here under general ledger, which is period open and closing. We'll come back. We grab the full details here. As an accountant, I want to open and close the accounting period. And come back here. We chuck it in here. And we'll equally create acceptance criteria. This is the acceptance criteria. We grab it. Go back and drop it. We save. We move down to story points, the efforts, estimated efforts. We say this time 8, and we agree, and we close. Now we have more items here. So we're still working on. So we close this one and we open this one. We have customer invoicing. Customer invoicing. So what is the full meaning? The full description, which is the user story. Customer invoicing as a sales representative. I want to create and send invoice to customer. Yeah, and I will grab it and drop it here. Self-acceptance criteria. Yeah. So this one you can give this one 7 story points, and we save, we close. Mind you, you are not the one giving the story points as a business analyst. Only if you, the business analyst, you are equally a developer that is going to work on this work item. So you should have a good idea of the effort. Outside that, is the developer that is supposed to give the estimate. So we only have one item here. Close it. Open this one. Vendor payment. And there's account payable. And we come over here. Vendor payment. As an accountant, as an account payable clerk, I want to process vendor invoice and payment. You grab it. Come to description and chuck it in here. And then acceptance criteria. You guys can see the importance of this product backlog. If you don't have it ready like this, it's going to be very difficult for you. So you see all these story points I put here, I'm overwriting it, because when you create this product backlog, as a matter of fact, at the point you created it, you don't have a story point until now that you are refining it, that you should have a story point. And I'll save. And I'll go back here on the story point. What is the story point? You said 9. And we save. And so this is activity. This is where the team members can be collaborating on any particular task. So if I want to, when the sprint starts and there is any issue, we can be communicating here. Yeah. So, and we're communicating. So, looks good. Another person can respond to me as well. So, team members, this is the way you need to collaborate on a particular task. So, we can have a trend of what is going on the product. Yes, if you finish your work, you should come here and attach your work as well. So, and yeah, so that's it. So this one means, yeah. And for here, we are done with this for now. I close the window and then we'll go back to product backlog. Yeah, see our product backlog. Yeah, we see all the story points has been added. So if you look at the work we have here, check the effort we need. We have 38 story points. That is the effort we have here. So this will help the team to understand their capacity. So if their capacity for, let's say, 2 sprints is 38 within a similar project, then it means their capacity is 38. So if in another project, like third project or fifth project, their capacity has been 38, some developers want to make it up to 60, you, the Scrum Master, will say no. Why are you saying no? You already know their capacity. There is no need of biting more than they can chew. It helps you understand capacity. It's not good. Yes, when you add items here and you can't finish it in a sprint, you can bring it back to backlog. But the best thing is make sure you can finish all the work you've started. So, but for now, there is no work, everything is still on backlog. And as it is ready, we have some work to do. So now it's time to invite the team for a sprint meeting. Now, you have to prioritize this work here based on the order of importance. So the most important will be on top, and the least value should be at the bottom, but we are comfortable with our prioritization here. We leave it the way it is. So now we invite the team for sprint meeting, and we are going to decide on what to work on. So the product owner is the person that is going to your own work as a business analyst. You have done your work. Your work is to move item here, help refining it. So deciding what to be done is not your work as a business analyst. And the product and the Scrum Master is none of your work or business to decide what to work on. The business is to assist as a business analyst here, and the Scrum Master, your work is to guide, make sure everybody is working safely, everybody is doing what they are supposed to do, and we are on course of delivering within the expected time. And the developer, your work here is to do the work. The developers, you are doing the work. Then who decide what to be done is called product owner. He owns the product backlog. What he decides is what is going to. So this is the sprint environment. Is empty. There's nothing here. This is so the product owner will start then moving items here. Say this is what I want. I'm the product owner now. I want this done as well. As a matter of fact, I want everything to be done. So I can move the whole work. It's a drag and drop. Just doing shakara here. Should be drag and drop in. So so why is not? Yeah, I've moved all the work items to sprint. So we've agreed this is what the product owner wants, and everybody agrees with that. So this is what we plan to work on. And we've agreed that we're going to work for 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, we should be able to finish the work here and invite the stakeholders. That is the plan. So we come over here, you see start sprint. You click start. And here, you decide we were agreed on 2 weeks. Sprint is between 1 week to 4 weeks. So we choose 2 weeks. The team can choose whatever, as long as it's between 1 week to 4 weeks. We choose 2 weeks. That's more standard. Then you come here and state the goal. So the goal here is to let's see, set up and top. Yeah, that is it. And we start. Click on start. So the sprint is started now. So that is it here. Sprint is started, and this sprint is expected to last for 2 weeks. So you see here, if you come to my board, this is to do, and in progress. You can add more board. We call this is what we call board. So if you click here, you can add more board. And this is what we call card. These are card, and this is board. So you can add more board. Add more board here. I'll say testing. Testing. So I want work to be tested before moving it to done. That is internal testing. You can call it review, whichever one. So, and that's it. So the work I've started, I will start from this. I move it to in progress, and I will work on it. I'll go get the license and everything. Once the license is procured, I'll move it to testing. There's nothing to test here. This is just a simple task. I'll move it to done. So you see anyone you've done, you've come here on the, it will be crossed, it's done. And that's how you'll be working, moving all the work. Here, you finish, you put for testing, internal testing, put to done. That's how this is happening within the 2 weeks as the work is progressing. On this one, you had a find out you got some challenges. Your laptop crashed as you are doing this work, and you need to report this. What do? You raise a flag. I need the replacement. So you see, with this, the Scrum Master will see that the team member is injured, having an injury in the pitch, and the flag is raised up for help. And you, the Scrum Master will come and say, what is going on? You open, and the final say, the laptop is crashed and needs a replacement. That's what we say the Scrum Master is troubleshooting, blocking the unblock. This is now a block. And see, you can't work again because you don't have any laptop. So you go around, get you a replacement laptop for you to start your work. Once that is done, you come back. You see, you remove the flag. Yeah, confirm. Everything is good. You start work again. Testing. Yeah. So as we are working, we find out that we cannot be able to finish this work. This customer invoicing, we can't finish. So we need to take it back. 2 weeks is already here and we still have this work. So we need to take it back to backlog. So you come over here, you see this work is still not done. What do? You grab it, take it back. It's allowed. Confirm. So it's going to form part of the next sprint you are going to do. That's it. You see, all these ones are done. And come back to your board. See, your board is to do. You've done everything you're supposed to do. And if you come to this, this is our graph. You see here, everything 100% done. And this is what we call burn down chart. This burn down chart, what is supposed to is showing the amount of work, what has been done. You see, this blue is here. So when the blue crosses, this is where this work is supposed to end. So when the blue crosses here and this work is still going on, it means that the team, is having a problem. This blue shouldn't cross this ash line. The work is supposed to end on October 10th. That is this. So we finished here on, here is because this is training ground, not a demo project, but the real life situation is when this job, the work is supposed to come to an end. And this is where, so this will be telling you the amount of work done, this blue arrow. So it's now telling us the amount of work done. Within September 26th, we already finished everything. So nothing remaining. So we finish the work, and that's it. So we don't just finish and go like that. You see, because if you see there is work, there was an item on this board here. We can't start any other work until we close this project. We finished, but it's not closed. We need to close the project, or we need to close the sprint. See here, complete this sprint. We'll finish, so we'll complete this sprint so we can start another sprint. Click on here. So it's at this point where before we complete, we need to go for what we call sprint demo, and demo before the stakeholders, and then we'll test. That's when we'll test officially. After testing and everything went fine, then we'll know if any work that didn't go well, that happened during the testing, then it becomes a bug, and we'll move it back to backlog. For instance, let's say this chart of accounts or this vendor payment, when we're working on this, we'll find out that it's not working. So we'll come here, let's open it up. Yeah. When we're working on this and we find out that it's not working, so we can close work that is not, we'll test, so we'll come over here and come over here and yeah. We call it a bug. We change it from user story to now bug. It's now a bug, and we move it back to backlog. Yeah, that is it. That is the point here. During testing, so it's now a bug, and Yeah. So come over here and you can refresh it. It shouldn't be showing this user story. You can see it's no longer a user story, it's a bug, because during the testing, we find out there is a defect. So we need to move it back. During the next work, the developers, they need to fix it, and we'll move it back. Yes, confirmed. Yeah. So during our next work, we have a bug and the work remaining. So we'll go back to our board and we close this sprint. This is what we've managed to achieve in this sprint. We close it. And yeah. And that's it. We've closed this, and during the next sprint, this is what needs to be done. I have one work here, and the bug should be here as well because it's back. So have one user story and the one bug, and yeah, it should be, we leave it at done. It's not done. We need to change it from here. Yeah, it's not done. So we move it back to do, because it's not done. And that's it. It's to do. There's a bug. Yeah, so we'll go back to backlog. Yeah, we should have two items. Here, you see it here. Here we'll have two items. We'll have one bug. So that's, and we'll add more work here. We'll bring in more products, backlog items to add on this. And these two items will form part of the next sprint. And that is it. Come to our summary. We'll see in our summary, you see, we'll start seeing statistics here of what is done. Everything here, you see recent activities. What is going on here is showing on our dashboard. Even when there is a flag, when there is a problem, everything is captured. Laptop, I need replacement. So everything here, yeah. And that's it. You see 3 items completed out of, yeah. Okay. So that's it. So what we have here, we have only 16. This is, yeah. And that is how you work. You continue a cycle and keep cycling. And as you are cycling every two weeks, you guys are bringing some value to the table. And you see, so once this one is fixed, it's going to be added to the work we've done. So, yeah. So if you have question, well, I've taken us through what I've taken us through. What we achieved tonight is we move product backlog item to Jira. Then we groom them, the product backlog item, with developers. Then we plan sprints, take some work, and during the work, we had challenges. We move some work back. We carry out some testing. We detected some bug. We move those items that has defects back to backlog as bugs, and we'll complete the work we have, and then we're ready for another sprint, and that is it. So yeah, that is the end of my story. So if you have question, I give you just 5 minutes for question, and I will be leaving here for that class. Yeah. Michael.
Good evening, Mr. Charles.
Yeah.
Okay, quickly, please, I just wanted to find out, is it possible to reassign a particular task to another developer on Jira? For instance, when you were giving the example of maybe a developer is working on a particular task and his laptop crashed while finding a way to rectify that. Is it possible to move the task he was working on to another person so that?
Well, in agile project management, you do not assign work to anybody. They pick work themselves.
Okay.
So you don't assign work like this. You didn't see me as a Scrum Master assigning work to anybody. They are picking what they can do. So they are self-managed team. Nobody manage them. They do what they want. As long as they are moving, they are here. But you don't assign work to them.
Okay. But what happens in the situation where a developer is stuck on a particular thing because of an unforeseen circumstance?
That is why the Scrum Master is there. The Scrum Master will go and sort him out. Just like he had his issue, the Scrum Master have to go and get him a new laptop.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Okay, somebody's name not available is raising hand. I don't understand this one. Madam, no name. Who are you?
Sorry, sir. I use my phone. It's not showing my name. I don't know why. I normally log in my laptop.
I said, who are you then? I don't know your name.
My name is Udibeka.
Okay, what can I do for you?
Okay, I want to ask a question, please.
Okay.
Looking through the notes that you gave us, I read the notes on when we did user story. I also watched the video again. Now, comparing what you taught us to the user story we used here now from that table, from that Excel sheet, I'm thinking that there's a bit of a difference. You know, what you taught us, there's a standard syntax for where in our notes we have as a user, by that we mean as a XYZ. You state the particular kind of user, the user persona. Then I want to do something. The next thing that should follow is an action that the person wants to perform. And then the last end of that user story syntax is the result that should come from what the person has, the user has done. But it appears that the stories that we use here now doesn't have that last part. It just identifies the user, the action to be performed, but the result of that action is not there. So it's as if to say that syntax is not complete in the user story that we have there.
I'm not,
And the second question of
I'm really struggling to hear you
I
because you
think
are,
I understand what she's trying to ask, sir.
okay.
you can't
Yeah,
hear me.
what she's trying to ask, sir, is while writing user story, we with the way you taught us, there's you identify the user, then the action the person wants to take. As an accountant, I want to do this, but it appears that there's no the last part of the syntax, like the results of the action. The way you taught us here is not carrying that. As a user, I want to do this so that this can happen. That's ending part of it. We don't the user stories that we are using doesn't carry it. So that's what she's trying to ask. I can relate to this because we're having that we're talking about it while having our meetings in the group.
Okay. That's what it means that that is conventional, but you see, as you are growing, all those things you stop all those conventional approaches. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So I have to teach you with the conventional way more. I can just decide chart of account if I'm working. All of us experienced developers and BAs. We are working on chart of account. We know what chart of account does. All this, I want to do this so that you can do this. In so many cases, I don't even know those. We don't do that. But I have to teach you the basics so that you understand it.
Okay.
Okay, so I have another question, please.
Okay.
Second question is that in our work breakdown structure, we're discussing in the team, we noticed that wireframe is not part of what this project entails. So I have two questions on that. Number one, please, can you explain to me? I don't understand what kind of project, when, at what point in time do you use wireframes? What do you use it for? At what point in time do you use it in a project? Then the second question is that since that work breakdown structure now is part of the initial stage, it's listed there as an activity. Is it wise for us to delete it so that it doesn't show in the initial stage as an activity to be done, or you just leave it there but allocate zero timeline to it? What would be the best approach? So I've asked two questions.
The work breakdown structure did what?
Okay, let me help her again. I think I understand what she's saying too. All what she's saying are things that we brought we are talking about on our group.
Okay.
She was saying that in the work breakdown structure, it has in the stage where we are now, the planning stage, it has create wireframe. And we know that we are not going to do wireframe on this project. So she's asking on what particular projects can we use wireframes?
The work breakdown
Secondly,
structure I gave you people is a template.
yeah,
You don't, everything in a template, you select the one that aligns with that project. You don't copy everything verbatim.
okay.
You know, in this case, we don't need wireframe because this is a project, this is a software configuration. If you are building we call it green implementation, you are building a software from the scratch. You know, no one has ever seen that software, or maybe you are building a website from the scratch. Nobody has idea of how it's going to look like. Then you can come up with a wireframe to give them, we call it mock-up, to give them idea of what is coming. But all this CRM system, they have been there for long. So there is no need of wireframing them. It's a software, just configuration. So we are not building from the scratch. We are doing configuration and customization. So we don't need wireframe. If you are developing a website or you are building a mobile application or a software that never existed, you are starting building it from the scratch, you need it so that they will see, they have idea of what they are expecting.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
So is it
Thank you.
okay? Is it okay for us to, since we already have it as part of our planning stage, one of the things we'll do in our planning stage in the field camp, is it okay for us to remove it? Since
Yeah, you can remove it. But like I said, what I shared is a template. I didn't share the actual. So in templates, you select items that aligns to your project. Not wireframe is not part of. I already said it. We are not gonna do wireframe because it's not part of this work. And wireframing and mockup. Actually, if a BA can do it good, but this is work of UX UI designers.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Any more questions? All right. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy your weekend. You have to leave you guys now because I have other engagement this evening.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Because of you, stop it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.